Welcome back everyone to Wudang Way and the final video of our first week of tutorials, our week one, kind of going through all these warm-ups and different routines that we've been covering so far. For this video and the end of the week video for each week coming forward, it'll be like our advanced practice where we kind of put all the basics together and practice as one complete thing. So for today, the practice we're actually going to do, because this week we've just been covering warm-ups and different flexibility things, stances, kind of rotation of the waist and like that. So for this one, actually what we're going to be doing is just one more advanced warm-up technique. It can be a little bit more complicated, but we're going to step through it part by part. And the name of this technique, for our sake and purposes, is just going to be the Coiling Dragon technique. It goes everything from the wrist to the shoulder to the waist. You get some stance work, a little bit of everything. So it does kind of work all the way through the body. So it's very nice, and the only thing you need is a rock. Okay, so this is just like a nice little trick to go through. You don't really need anything, but it's a good way to keep your concentration and to kind of step into the more advanced levels of it. The technique is basically just going to be a balancing exercise with the stone or with a cup or nothing. I mean, even just the palm of your hand is enough, but it's a nice little trick to keep you focused and to add like a little level of difficulty to it. So basically what the trick is from here, we're going to start on like a small introductory level, very basic, mostly focusing on mobility of the shoulder. And what we're going to do is just keep the palm open. Don't grab it because that's going to be really easy. We just want to keep the palm flat, facing up, and then we're just going to tuck the hand behind, kind of turn the body a little bit, and then as we come around, bring the hand up and flat. So you're just doing this like figure 8 with the palm, and you're kind of trying to keep the arm relaxed and fluid, keeping this nice soft motion. The more you get the body involved, the easier it is. So if you just kind of isolate the arm like this, that's going to be really awkward and you might drop it. But you really want to get the twist, kind of throw your shoulder around, twist back, bring the wrist through. Okay, so this is very simple. You don't need to go very low in the beginning, and you can just kind of work on slowly getting the arm more straight and not working very low yet. So we're just kind of doing this open. You know, here we can bend the arm and keep flat and try to keep your eyes focused on the rock. And this keeps you kind of balanced, steady, and fluid. And now we're just getting a really nice shoulder, a little bit of chest workout. Okay, that's going to be really introductory. You know, we can do it on both sides. So we have this like very nice, soft, small coordination. But we're not getting a lot of mobility in the body yet. So once we start straightening the arm, again, that's going to put the mobility into the chest. And so we get this tuck behind, shoulder, straighten the arm, and then back here we get a little bit of back, and a little bit of back bending, relax. Make sure you're kind of timing your breath the lower you get. And very, very simple. We can trade, we can do this on both sides. And as you see, again, more soft body, more easier the movement gets, okay? So this is just like a very introductory level, very basic, but we can increase the difficulty a little bit and start bringing in the lower body, which is gonna get more of a back bend. So as long as you're warmed up, you've gone through some of those other things in the other videos before, and you don't feel any pressure in the lower back, or you don't feel any pain or discomfort, then you can go ahead and drop down into a lower stance, and we're going to do it a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to take, in this example, we'll take your right hand. You can put your rock in there. If you're right hand dominant, it'd be a little bit easier to start off just to get coordination, but again, we can do it on both sides. So put in our right hand, left hand on the lower back, just kind of like back right to there, palm flat. And then we're going to drop down in just a low squat, kind of open stance if you're familiar with horse stance. Then we're just going to, as we go, sink the body, straighten the arm behind, and then as we come back to here, we're going to come back center body weight, keep the arm straight, and kind of do a little bit of a back bend, okay? So the idea, as we go through this to give you an example, is the arm stays straight the whole way through the motion, okay? And you're kind of nice and steady, nice and slow. Again, timing your breath when you look back, you can exhale so you can balance. Remember, kind of sink. We're pivoting with the left leg in this case. Weight right in the center and relax back and through, okay? Nice and soft. You don't want to get here and kind of start going fast or bend your arm. You want to keep it nice and relaxed and long, okay? So very, very long posture. If you reach out, and then here you'll bend for the only time, then straighten behind you, and then do this large circle as you come to the front. And it's kind of like you're ducking your own shoulder. You're going underneath your own arm. And we're just doing this pivot as like a nice, soft, relaxed, slow, and 3. Then we can do that and kind of come through to the other side and do the similar motion. So you're coming from the front to the back, forward, reaching center balance, make sure it's right in the palm, and circle, back around. Nice and fluid. And then the last thing, when we get down to these low postures, is we do want to make sure that as we come back to the center, one thing I said is you want to have the weight right in the center when you go for the back bend. But the trick to actually going down into it is to actually push your center of gravity forward so the weight stays on the heels. You don't want to just lean back and like basically just fall backwards, okay? So you can kind of lean your knees forward and take the center of mass and push forward. So you're kind of leaning forward with the lower body and the upper body lean back. It's the beginnings of a bridge technique with a very large, wide footwork, which is not normally normal. Normally we'll start very, very narrow, but starting wide gives you a bigger base and gives you more isolation in the back. So we're not gonna go to the ground. We're not gonna do a full bridge yet, but you can at least kind of use that characteristic to do a back bend, push the knees forward, weight forward, relax the chest, open, and return back up, okay? And just kind of working through that to whatever level you can get to. If you start off a little higher, it's the same principle. You're gonna kind of press forward and lean. So you get a little bit of back bend during the whole movement. So again, pick your difficulty. You can start this one off. The really great thing about it is you can start standing straight up and just kind of get some shoulder, slowly dig down into opening the chest and getting a little bit more open, and then use the full footwork and get all the body engaged, okay? So really great, well-rounded practice. A lot of times what we'll do is do a set of 10, a set of 10, and then maybe go back and do a couple more on each side just to go a little bit deeper once you're warmed up. But don't go to your deepest position right off the beginning. Make sure you've gone through the other videos and kind of done a little bit of a warm-up before you approach this one, because this is kind of like the final movement, and now you should be really relaxed, really engaged. You're picking up on some of the balance and the weight adjustments as we go through these movements, okay? Okay. That is going to take care of everything for this week, all of our warm-ups that we're going to use. I would say start with that first one and make sure you're really familiar with that. And you can use that as just like a morning routine, something you wake up to. If you're already involved in a Tai Chi program or a Qigong program, you can do that as like a warm-up to get you ready for it. And then working up into those more dynamic ones that we're going to use for our stances in the next week to follow. And if you have a chance to try this one out, this dragon movement, it's very, very fun. It's a little bit more challenging, which adds a little bit of interest to it and some different goals for you to work towards. So try that out. See if you have any problems with that. And in tomorrow's video, I'm actually going to do one more where we do like a collected video of all these basic trainings together that you can use as like a follow-along tutorial to just practice with. So tune back in tomorrow. We'll have one little bonus video for you guys. And if there's any questions that I haven't covered or some questions that you have trying this out on your own, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you or answer that in the videos to come. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back here next week where we're going to be getting into the actual footwork, going through the basic stances, and getting us started with all these fundamentals in this Back to Basics series. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit subscribe, check out all the information underneath. There you can navigate to the Ways of Wudang Patreon account. And by becoming a Patreon, you can get access to all the main channel resources around martial arts, Taoist philosophy, even Chinese music, and group classes, live streams, one-on-one courses, and a bunch of other stuff as well. So I hope you'll go check that out, and I hope to see you there. Once more, thank you for all your support. We'll see you in the next video.